15, 20 minutes at least, if not more. Imagine that you have 100 CVs, each one 30. We had a strategy, how to find the right people. Then we already started selling our company and finding the candidates. Now we have people who applied for the company. How can we select the best people to join us? So screening or shortlisting is a process of this process. Okay? When you are done with the last one, they are already an employee. So all these is like a funnel. Do you know what's a funnel? Starts with a lot and goes up down to the least amount of people. The end, it should be the size, the number of people that you're looking for. But it should not only be the only indicator. So if you're looking for 10 people, 100 apply, but only 5 are good, don't accept 10, only accept 5. Many people fall into that. I'm looking for 10 people, I will hire 10 people. This is a big problem. Because bad employee, they will do more damage than not having them at all. Also, you find 15 employees that are perfect. You have to choose 10. People who are extra, they will hurt your organization. Not only about money, but even when people they are not working, basically they will do more damage. Because people will start delegating to each other and people will stop working. No one will be motivated. And this is not something you want to do. So the first step, which is reviewing the resumes and cover letters that we will receive. So I will go to the next slide just a little bit, and then we'll come back, is that some of the resume red flags that you might see when you are getting resumes. So first, take a look at this and tell me, in your opinion, which is the most important one. Okay. The most shy one. Okay. This one? It means that every time you are applying for a job, you change your resume to make it suitable for the job. Because if you write everything you did in your career, it will be 10 pages. But you can only apply with maximum 2, ideally 1. Especially if you've been just working for 2-3 years. So you need to write the job-specific achievements and descriptions, the most appropriate things that are related to this job only that you're writing. So this is customization. Okay? You? Okay. Actually, they're all bad, but you're right. The worst one is this. Taking advantage of the current employer to apply for the job. Because if they did this to someone, they will do it to you. Some employees, when they are leaving the company, they will take the database of the company. And they will, when they are applying for the new job, they will say, I have this database, I can use it to sell. Okay? This is a big problem. Or you are using a recruitment service. And the guy who's supposed to help you find the employee apply for your company. this is using their position in a way that is not good. They did it to someone, 100% they will do it to you. So you cannot trust this type of person. But they are all bad. Okay? So let's take one by one. Is that each one, they might, why I said this is the worst one? Because each one of these, they're all bad, but they might be justified in the cover letter or in an interview. It depends on the person. Usually they will not go to an interview if they don't have a cover letter that clarify why this happened. But they will usually have some explanation, whether you like it or no. It's an explanation. But this one, how can you explain it? Why did you take information from your old company? Why did you use your position in a bad way? You cannot justify this. And it's really difficult to do. But for example, long unemployment gap, unjustified unemployment gaps. Okay? So that means some people, for example, they work for 5 years, but for 1 or 2, they stop working and they reapply again. There are 2 issues with this. One, they might lose the industry experience. So for example, they work in IT. In IT, 2 years is a big difference. A lot of things change. Same for the F&B. Maybe the processes change in the market. The market trends change. So this is one problem. 2, why they couldn't find a job during this time. So there must be a reason, unless they give you a justifiable reason. Like, for example, it's 1 year. 1 year is usually not that long, or 2 years. But the girl said, I was pregnant, I had a child, I didn't want to work during that time. Something justified. It's a justification that you can understand. But if this happened, they need also to say what they did to stay in the game. I mean, what I mean by in the game means, like, did they take any courses during that time? Did they attend any events? Did they do something to keep their mind working, to stay related to the industry, to the position they are applying to? Because if they are very distant, we will go back to the same problem in the beginning, that they are too far. So they either have to go back in the position, which will create another problem, which they are going backward, or like they will have to take more time to do courses, something to get back in the game, because it will be difficult for someone to quit and come back after a long time. That's the first one. Second one, bad spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Why do you think this is bad? Why do you think this is bad? What does it say about the person? Exactly. Either not responsible or they don't care. So they just write it quickly and apply. So this is not something you want. Resume is a way to show who you are to the employer. So you need to show your best. Actually, your resume is where you show your best. Otherwise, like most of the time, you will not be as good as your resume for most people. There is the next one, which is lack of attention to details. Is similar to this one. So if they are not detail-oriented, in their resume, they will never be that in real life. They had all the time and resources to do it in their resume. They could ask a friend, they could do something, they could find a solution, but they didn't. The next one, which is career go backwards. This one is a bit tricky because it can be for reasons. So sometimes it happens. But most of the time, there should be something that they did or something that is bad. Why did this happen? Usually you will have career growth. If you stop, that means either you are not good at your job, or you did something really bad that took you back a few years. So you need to understand why this happened. Maybe there is a big reason is that they are not their information is outdated for many people. So the industries are improving and developing, but some people, they stay static, means not changing. So they will have to go backward in order to get the information. And if this happens, you need to understand why. Basically, it can be justified. But the problem is, with all these things, you have limited time and resources. The more time you spend on a person, the more resources that you are spending. If you have 100 people applied, and you give each one 3 minutes, that's 300 minutes. You don't want, this is 3 minutes, you will never be able to check every one of these. If you want to address why, to justify it, it will take you 15, 20 minutes at least, if not more. Imagine that you have 100 CVs, each one 30. That's 3,000 minutes. That's a lot of time. You don't have that much time. This is the first stage. In resumes, many people apply. Many people apply randomly. So you'll get a lot of extra resumes that you have no use to. So you need to check this. Of course, these are red flags if the person is even follow the requirements. If the person is not fit with the requirements, you just skip from the beginning. But even if they fit the requirements and they have these red flags, you should move on. The next. Sorry, anyone has any question? Okay. The next one, the failure to follow application directions. We talked about this like 30 minutes ago. So you have send us an email, but they apply through LinkedIn. That means they did not read it, or they are not good at following instructions, and you don't want that. Imagine you are the manager of an employee. You tell them to attend the meeting at 8, they come at 9. Like, it does not make sense. You tell them to do the job, they don't do it, or they do whatever they want, they don't follow your instructions. It's not something you want. So if they follow it here, there is a big chance that they will do it in daily basis. So you also want to skip it. The next one is taking advantage of their current employer. This is a very big problem because if they did it once, they will do it again. It's not a good indicator of a good employee, basically. The other one is lack of resume customization. This is their way to show interest, one, and to show how relevant their skill is. So if you have, they send you like 4 or 5 pages that they mean is very generic. They are sending it to everyone, one. 2, you will not be able to understand if they are actually a fit or not. But if they give you bullet points on which are the skills that they actually have that makes them related to this job, it's very easy for you to identify that, 1. And 2, it means that they are really good, like they understand the position. They took the time to read and to customize. And most importantly, they know how to communicate information. They know how to make you understand who they are, what they are looking for, how can you work with them. So if they can communicate it now, there is a good chance that in the future, while working with them, they'll be able to communicate it on a daily basis. The last one is lack of achievements. Many people do jobs, but they don't achieve anything. And why would you want to hire someone like that? You don't want someone who, in some positions, it's understandable. But I don't think there are many positions that you can do it without making any achievement. Even if it's a simple achievement, so you are a student, you can have some simple achievements. It does not have to be like in a job. It can be in a club. It can be in real life. It can be anything if you are a student. But as a professional, when you did some jobs, even an internship, you need to have some achievement. As small as it can be, still an achievement you need to mention. So if they don't have any achievement, that means they did not work, even if they had the responsibility. They are skimping, they are doing the bare minimum. And would you want to work with someone who just do the minimum and you do the rest of the job? I don't think so, right? You are paying them, you're working with them. You need everyone to be working and be motivated. So this is also a big no. Okay? So if we go back here. So after you review the resume and cover letter, you look at these things. First, you look at the qualification. Is it fit?